Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and today we're sending everybody to Eve. Well, we're not sending everybody to Eve, everybody's arriving at Eve. Starting with the Eve Sciencer in 43 days, so let's get the ball rolling, shall we? I will say, I loaded this game up and the Eve Sciencer crashed the game in the same way that the space station did, but I closed the game out, reloaded it, and it's fine now, so I'm assuming that everything's fine. However, we all know how this game likes to treat NAN problems, and I'm going to be a little bit concerned as time goes on here. We are in Eve's Sphere of Influence. That is pretty sweet. What is your goal? Your goal is to bring science back from Eve, and so therefore you want to take all of these. So let's go ahead and do this really quick. And you have to collect all these. Let's see, collect data, yes. I really wish that it didn't give that alarm. That's such an annoying alarm. It should check to see if there's a scientist doing it, and then just go, oh, obviously it's okay because there's a scientist doing this. It annoys me that I have to deal with that alarm. Okay, let's grab onto this and get back in. Okay, now you have collected your science, and these little struts sticking out, as soon as I disconnect this thing, they're going to go. And this guy's going to be disconnected the moment we do any sort of burn. Okay, so now I'm going to hit F5. And then we're going to go to the all-in-one 2 this way to see if it crashes the game. Yay, we didn't crash the game. I feel like we have successfully not crashed the game. Okay, in 2 days, we are going into Eve's Sphere of Influence. There we go. Okay, we are not going to bother doing the crew report and EVA report because you're never coming home. So we're going to hit F5 again to quick save, and we're going to jump back to the Eve Sciencer to see if this crashes the game. Yay, I seem to have fixed the problem. Okay, let's aim ourselves. Actually, let's use regular roll SAS to aim ourselves at our maneuver node. That's happening in about a day, a Kerbal day. If you hear a weird rumbling noise, I believe there is a thunderstorm on its way. There's Eve. Oh, look at that. I believe there is a thunderstorm on its way, and I don't know exactly when it's going to get here. I am fully batteried up, though, so don't worry about me. Oh, we got more science to do. Gravity scan over Eve's Midlands. Let's go ahead and keep that data. You got to hop out and get it, though. This is going to be the boring part of the mission. Take the data. Oh, we can do an EVA report. That's kind of cool. The gravioli detector. I guess we're going to board anyway. The gravioli detector, once we're in low, I guess. The gravioli detector actually gives us more science than EVAing does. Gravity scan, because it works high over. See, and this is high over, and this EVA report doesn't actually just high over Eve, whereas the gravioli detector tells us what biome we're over, which is kind of cool. Yeah, sadly, we're not going to see too much of Eve this episode. It's going to be always off in the distance, because really the goal of this episode is Gilly, not Eve. We are 2 minutes and 25 seconds away from our maneuver node. Well, the burn for our maneuver node. The one thing I don't know is how accurate that is. So I think we're going to go down to about a minute before. How long is this burn? It's 1100, and in our current stage we have 165. So I'm gonna hit this gas. I actually turned on all these. I don't think you ever saw that. And as soon as this thing goes away, now we're going to see our actual burn time, which is 3 minutes. So yeah, it's good that we did it now, as opposed to anything else. I hate that. Why is the smallest engine in the game so loud? I will never understand that. Okay, now we should be able to aim directly at our maneuver node, though, and not shake the ship apart. The ship's a little complex, though, so I don't think I'm going to want to time warp. So I will be back when this burn is done. Or actually, I'll bring you back here for this, because we're almost out of fuel in this stage. So I'll just show you the detaching process. Just anytime the engine's shut off on a stage, I dump it, is the idea. And it looks like we're going to keep this stage for this initial burn here. So we're going to arrive at Gilly with 3 full fuel tanks, which is pretty good as far as I'm concerned. If I was smart, I would have, instead of these, whatever they're called, decouplers, I would have used docking ports. That way, we could dock with our fuel ship if we needed to refuel the last few stages of this guy to send him home. But our total Delta V is still over $2,000. It's going to be about $1,800, which is plenty to get home from Gilly. The current Delta V estimate is going down faster than the Delta V to finish the maneuver node is. I don't know if that's a problem with Kerbal Engineer or with the fact that we burned late. But it's a little disturbing. Because we had a margin of 50 or so meters per second when we started, and these are going to end at about the same place based on how they're going down. But as soon as we get to here or so, let's go ahead and check out our orbit. Oh yeah, we need to burn more. And I'm going to kill my maneuver node. We're very close to contacting Gilly here. So I'm just going to burn until we do. Now let's focus on Gilly. And yeah, these orbits here, this is what I need my satellite to do when it comes here. Really anything at all regarding Gilly is fine as far as let's go ahead and yeah, it's going away, so we're not going to burn anymore. I think what we're going to do here, well, how fast is it going to take to get into orbit? Like, to get into orbit, it's going to take about 60 meters per second. So, in the whole vast scheme of things, it's not going to matter. And I'm going to save my fuel tank. We're going to kind of leave, we're going to kind of leave stuff all over the system. Sadly, that's just the way it works. You got a solar panel in the sun. I'm happy. Now the Eve lander, kind of. Let's go ahead and watch him come into Eve's sphere of influence. I forgot to hit F5 before doing this, so I'm glad that the game decided to allow this to happen. Now, he is not landing on Eve, of course. He's going to do those two contracts, the two satellite contracts first. One of them is to, and see, he actually has a docking port, so he'll actually be able to do something. One of his two orbits is polar, so that's when this is going to work. And one of them is not polar, that's when this is going to work. So we're going to get into the polar orbit first, get a map of the system, and then we're going to get into the equatorial orbit, and then we're going to try to find a really good spot to land. At least that's the plan. Okay, let's aim you at your maneuver node now. There we are. And now the next thing to happen is the all-in-one ship. So... oh, wait, you have all your science. You might as well take it and send it home. Oh, cancel. Let's actually, we don't want to take this mystery goo or materials bay. Send the temperature scan. Send the gravity scan. Delete the mystery goo. And send the atmospheric pressure scan. Yeah, because we do not want to transmit these, because these are coming from the surface of Eve, because we're never going back to the surface of Eve in this save. So we might as well get this data while we can. That's what Bob is for. Or not Bob. Whoever our scientist is. I think it's Raffo. Okay, let's aim you at your maneuver node. You have plenty of Delta V. Well, it's funny. It says your Delta V current is 0 meters per second. I don't know why. But let's see. What are we doing here? You are doing a crazy burn to get into Gilly orbit. Oh, a Gilly intercept orbit. I love these little greenhouses. They're just so cool looking. They're actually, the funny thing is they're holding supplies, so I'm not actually eating the supplies out of here. He's eating the fresh stuff. I guess it makes sense. I would rather eat the fresh stuff than the pre-packaged garbage. Ooh, Desgard is now a level 5 engineer, which means he's going to have the most effective drilling station so far in the game, which is awesome. I heard somebody mention that more engineers makes more efficiency. I thought that wasn't true, but I don't have any proof of that, and I'm not going to bother testing it. So if somebody knows, feel free to comment. Right there. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that should be perfect. We have a Gilly encounter, which is pretty much all I care about at the moment, but let's go ahead and make it better. And this, we want to just land on Gilly. And to land on Gilly is ridiculously easy in this game. So I think what we're going to do is out here, we're going to add a maneuver. We are going to jump back in orbit, unlike what the game allows. And I think if we come normal minus and radial doesn't do anything. Yeah, see, that just completely... There we go, prograde. To bring us over on this side. And then we'll just figure out... I mean, we're going to have to orbit first, now that I'm thinking about it, because we want the other ship to tell us where to land. So I think we're just going to bring it out kind of like this to get into an orbit, and then we can literally drop at any time and just do it. So that's going to be that. And then we're going to go to the Eve Lander and take care of him. And the cool thing is the Eve Lander, which is going to be our scanner, is actually entering Gilly first, which is awesome because that means that that he'll get the scanning done before this guy gets here even, which is pretty cool. And I would like you to know I planned that ahead of time, even though it's absolutely untrue. We can do an atmospheric pressure scan. Let's go ahead and transmit that. Okay, we are 50 seconds from our slowdown burn. Oh, actually, never mind. I said that he's got his Gilly thing next, but I think he's going to encounter Gilly on this side, and the other two ships are going to encounter Gilly over here, which means that he will actually encounter it first. See, I know what I'm talking about. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. You shouldn't really listen to me. And let's go ahead and aim it to maneuver node. Utilize the tools the game gives you, even if they don't work 100%. Works pretty good for this guy. It's wobbling all over the place, but hey, what are you going to do? And as always, a successful burn has been completed now, give or take. Now we should have a Gilly encounter now. Yes, and it's on the next orbit, and yeah, it is the next thing to happen. Well, we got to do a burn. But it's the first sphere of influence. So the Eve Lander, kind of, the ELKO, will be the first thing to go into Gilly's sphere of influence. And as I said, we want a polar orbit, which this basically is, actually. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hit escape, hit escape, hit escape. That was scary. What just happened? We don't have our sphere of influence changing. Oh, we don't have our target. Set as target. Okay. Oh, I hit the warp 2 button. I need to disable. You know what's funny? Somebody was asked. I was like, why was that enabled? I went in there to show the person where it was, and then I enabled it and forgot to disable it. Okay. My mistake. Add a maneuver here. We need to speed up or slow down. There's our encounter. Okay, and we want to actually that's pretty nice because then we can just come in. Now our orbit needs to go this way though. So we actually want to be over here. Let's see if we can do that. Prograding ourselves through the planet. And then doing something like that, and then prograding back up a little bit. And that'll get us really close to that orbit, and then we can just come in here and burn to do this. I think that's perfect. And that's the next thing to happen, and I'm actually going to follow that maneuver node pretty accurately, considering it's so exact. Okay, this is a good velocity here to come in. Okay, there's that. Now we're just going to bring it in. And kind of look at this in 3D space and see how it looks. A little bit more. There. We're basically crossing the orbit right here. Let's go ahead and delete this maneuver node. We're basically crossing the orbit, I think, right here. That's very close. Somewhere right around here. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to burn like this. Tell me we're going the right way. Yes. And then slow down. Yeah, you know what? We might need to just because the slowdown's going to be more. Oh, the storm has started. So we're going to slow down like this. We're also going to radial. Something close to that. And then we can twiddle from there. And make it actually work. But that'll be good. And yes, the Evelander is still the one to come next. But let's hit F5 to save this, because I'm getting scared about how many jumps between ships I'm doing. And let's go to the all-in-one 2. Not the all-in-one 2. It's the all-in-one Mark II. I don't remember what Mark 1 was, but apparently it didn't work very well. So, okay, nice slow burn, not in any hurry whatsoever. And that looks perfect to me. So we're just going to go with that. Of course, let's go ahead and add a sphere of influence change manually just so it holds on, because the last thing I want to do is miss this sphere of influence change. And now let's go, let's, as always, F5. And jump to this guy. Okay, the first thing to come to Gilly is a robot. But it is per the mission parameters. This robot's going to have a full half orbit of Gilly, roughly 6 days, in order to get both a orbital scan and a pinpoint scan of the planet. Oh, the moon, I should say. We are over our burn time, so let's go ahead and do the burn now. I just realized we've passed the maneuver node. Whoa, craziness. Okay, how close do we have to get to this orbit here? Polar orbit of Gilly. Reach the designated polar orbit within deviation. So we're not within deviation yet. I think we just got the contract, though. Oh, it's 2 polar orbits. I thought it was a polar orbit and a... that's hilarious. I thought it was a polar orbit and a non-polar orbit, but that's absolutely not true. Okay, well, hey, we're in a polar orbit. Let's go ahead and delete this contract here. This one here we've successfully completed. Good for us. Let's go ahead and deploy this scanner. Let's aim it at Gilly. Why not? If I could figure out the controls. There we go. We're going to aim this thing right at Gilly. And let's go ahead and perform an orbital survey. Oh, between 25 and 65. What are we at right now? We are at 23. We're actually a little too low. But we're so well set up for this other contract that I think we're going to do it first. And we're gonna come right here. And then we're just gonna burn normal. Well, not just normal, because the game doesn't understand things like normal. We are gonna burn just normal. And I'm pretty sure it's actually that normal. It's the one with the, no, it's the other normal, anti-normal. Because what we're going to do is we're going to come around like this, and then when we get here, we're going to burn anti-normal, and as long as he holds anti-normal, he's going to set us up with a perfect match of this orbit here. I don't know if you can... Well, you definitely could have heard that one. As I said, everything I have is protected, not just by surge protectors, but battery backups. So if the power goes out, I have time to stop recording and everything. Okay, and we are basically at our ascending node. So we are going to burn here. Oh, it's actually not keeping up with it. That's kind of funny. I have to cheat it a little bit retrograde. Okay, we got that. Now let's aim retrograde. We're not exactly hurting for fuel on this trip, so I'm not that concerned. Okay, we're not in the designated orbit. So we need to burn... if we burn towards Gilly, that's going to be worse. So we want to burn away from Gilly. Now we're in the designated orbit. We've maintained stability for 10 seconds, which is kind of funny because it just like instantly happened. But hey, we got our 2 contracts, which is awesome. That's a lot of money and a lot of science. That's why we're doing these things. Not because they're easy, but because they give us money. Okay, Now, let's go ahead and try this again here with this scanner. Between 25 and 65 to complete an orbital survey. So we're 22 and 26. So this is actually within there. So let's just bring our periapsis up above there. That's like such a tiny burn. It's crazy. Now we should be periapsis and apoapsis above 25. Now we should be able to do the orbital survey. Starting transmission. Boom. Okay. Oh, look at Gilly. Wow, Gilly is rife. Rife, I say, with ore. Cutoff is 0%, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, when we hit, words talking out of my brain. When we get up to 50%, it's all gone. But up to 40%, we have tons and tons. And I'm actually thinking a good spot to land is going to be right here. My thought process being that, what's the word? The base could actually be in the sun 24 hours a day, which would be pretty cool. Another good spot to land would be on the tip of this thing, We don't really have to worry about equatorial, because anybody coming here to refuel, he's just going to lift off the surface, meet with them using dozens of meters per second, and then come back down. So it really doesn't matter. Let's look at... I wish we could see it from this mode. But oh well, what are you going to do? But you know what we can do? We can bring up trajectories. That's an orbit right there. We're actually over a hilly spot right now. Let's go ahead and use this scanner here. And let's toggle the GUI. Yeah, see, we're heading north into this. What is this? 3.9. 7.1. So on this hill is 7.1. We're going to drop a waypoint. Waypoint manager, you should move this window out of the way so it's not random. So I'm going to call this hill 7.1 hill. Okay, that's 7.1 hill. Oh, and it actually sets it to the correct. That's pretty cool. It sets it to the correct spot, not what the game thinks it is, which is pretty cool. I really want to know what this hill is. We will eventually be here. We will be over this when we're over here. So let's set a maneuver node here. Let's refresh the scanner. So yeah, everything up here is 7.1. It's actually 7.2, which is nice. But I want to know what this hill is. If this hill is good, we're going to go with it because it's nice and flat on the top. Be easy to land on. So let's go ahead and time warp ourselves around. Oh, this is all 7. Looks like most of this, anything we can see here, is actually 7.1. And then this stuff here, I mean, this is 6.4. It's not bad at all. I mean, the average is 5.9, so 7.1 is awesome for Gilly. Yeah, 6.4. Yeah, a lot of this stuff that doesn't show up at all is 3.9. But yeah, 7.1. This guy's also 7.1. So actually, I kind of want to move this waypoint now. And we're going to set it ideally right on the tip of this hill, which that looks pretty good. From every angle, that's the tip of a fairly flat hill. Maybe right here. Yeah, I like it. That's where we're landing. This probe has done its job. Save that. Okay. This probe has done its job. It has no further use except to make sure he's transmitted all his data. Let's actually get him in the sun again. We can turn this off. can close this. And we can make sure we've transmitted all of his data, because I hate to be holding on to data. Yeah, we've transmitted all of his data. Now, his only goal... Actually, wait. No, he's going to stay here. Because we wanted him to have full fuel when we got to Eve, so that we could really slow down and not have to worry about re-entry heat. So let's go ahead. It's only a couple days. Let's go ahead and hop to the Eve Sciencer and take care of him. Once I hit F5. Oh, here comes Gilly. Gilly. I think we're going to ditch our stage here. As soon as these engines die. Oh, we should be aimed at our maneuver node. This doesn't feel like the maneuver node we should be on, but hey, who am I to complain? Whoops. Yeah, let's turn off trajectories. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. We don't really care about what exactly orbit we're in. Let's check out our debris here. That apparently doesn't exist. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's still flying out, so it is. Oops, I didn't actually want to switch to it. It is fine as far as doing this is concerned. Okay, so we want to land this guy on Gilly. So I think we might as well land him roughly where the other ship's going to go. Why not, right? Oh, and actually, no, we don't do it this way. We are going to do it this way. We're going to come to a complete stop here because it's a tiny amount of fuel. Actually, honestly, we could just burn for it right now. Let's do it. Let's come to a complete stop. And if we do something like that. Yeah, see, that's sending us up that way, though. Screw it. Let's activate navigation. We're going 9.3 meters per second. So where is our target? There it is. All we got to do is get our direction vector going for the target. Slightly above to figure for dropping. That's pretty good. Gilly's gonna rotate a little bit, so we're gonna want to burn normal out, aka anti-normal. Boom. Now we've got a maneuver node here in 48 minutes. We should probably bring it up a little bit just to make sure we don't crash. It's in 46 minutes. It's the next thing to happen. So let's go ahead and time warp to it. And sadly, we're going to not be able to time warp very much because of fun. And Gilly is rotating the exact opposite way of what I thought. So let's, or no, it's just rotating faster than I thought. Not a big deal. Gilly's the only planet that you can get away with this kind of thing. Huh? Actually, this is a good time to have the HUD up. There we go. Let's go name ourselves Retrograde. Still not low, huh? I assume eventually we're going to be low over Gilly. Okay, we're in surface mode now, which is important. There's our shadow. There we go. Temperature, mystery goo, materials, gravity, crew, and atmospheric pressure. Keep all those. And now we want to aim straight down. Oops, let's go back to regular old stability assist here. This will also give a good indication of the slope of this land here. Yeah, we still got this full tank and then this full tank to get home, which is 1,500 meters per second. And we are going to get home via a low Eve flyby to get that science as well. So this guy's going to return a ton of science. Raffo, you are going to be a superstar back home. And I think I've been recording about an hour now, so hopefully that'll get me at least 20 minutes of video. So I think this is going to be the final part of the episode here, is our first manned landing on Eve by none other than the science superstar known as Raffo Kerman. Who, thanks to his probe core, has nice control over everything that's going on here. I think this is a very nice slope. 6.3% is going to be very easy to handle. Got to wait until we're actually on the ground. Let's take that seismic scan. Keep that. Let's go ahead and do our EVA report. This will be flying just above. Keep that data. Let's store it, and then we need to take all these. And guess what you get to do? That's right, you get to plant a flag. Actually, you know what would be cool? If you could plant a flag somewhere that is perfectly flat. Actually, honestly, this waypoint is perfectly flat. This waypoint is quite well situated here. Let's go ahead and EVA report and surface sample from Gilly's Highlands. Let's plant our flag. And this one's going to stay. Gilly, first landing. Raffo, I almost put Rosie because that's your name in that's your name in XCOM. Raffo, and the reason I put Raffo there because I want to put land here. Look at you, you are so happy. And then we are going to call that an episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. It is nice to be back in this save. It is nice to be oh wait, I can't. Did I just remove the data? I think I just cheated. I think I might have just cheated the game out of something that I transmitted and am holding on to. But anyway, yes, I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, not be able to find Eve or anything. Oh well, it's a barren landscape. What are you gonna do? Talk at you later.